You the rabbit or the jaguar. There's always somebody chasing somebody else. Oh well, I forgot I was live. That's a great way to start this. You know, me muttering about rabbits and jaguars as I tend to do. Anyway, what was this called again? Oh yes, yes. Um, I also want to add I don't play the lotto. We'll get to that. So here's my thing with contest drawings, raffles, and other bullshit. I occasionally get people that try to say that I won something. I think it's very convenient to be like, I don't enter contests. Also, I think most of those things are throwing good money after bad, and that's why I don't play the lotto. You might as well take that money and like go pay a hooker. It's a better use of your money. Now, if you want to gamble, I like blackjack and poker and baccarat. That's a totally different story. But like, hey, I'm gonna put $5 to get this ticket for this thing that, the Elks Moose Lodge is gonna draw for a shotgun. Yeah, no thanks. I'm sorry. I know that they do good things and whatever. It's not about that. I'll give them the $5. I won't enter a fucking contest. Like maybe I'm just a particularly assholeless person or something, but like I think this is like a tenet of some religions, and I could see it. Like, not that you don't gamble, but you don't do this kind of stuff. No lotteries, no fucking raffles, no. I'm guessing that's Muslims. Maybe I don't know. I might be wrong. I find myself agreeing with them an awful lot lately, and I think honestly the reason for that is they have like a perverted view of a lot of the shit that I believe with this really militaristic bent that I happen to just like. Like, if you're going to be in the disciples of Crom or whatever the fuck we're going to call this church, I I just somehow think you probably ought to be more of like the Knights Templar kind of Christian rather than like the pacifist kind of Christian. Because like, you know, the whole thing, the tenets of this, like there's a 10 commandments that I wrote in 5 minutes for this new religion on Instagram. I should get that and read that. Be great. Let's read the 10 commandments of my new religion. Forget what I oh yeah, I put up a meme of Archer talking about them. You can't drink your feelings away, and it says me, and it's Archer holding up one finger while drinking. I figured that was like the most appropriate thing to put above the 10 Commandments. Oh, 1. There is only one God, the architect of all things. 2. He doesn't alter his creation. That's why he made you. 3. He made the animals too, and you should stop shitting on them for being superior beings to you. 4. You are an omnivore. Animals are meant to be eaten, but this is a holy thing that you shit on with your lack of respect in the process. Murder is against God. Murder is killing a man without cause. 6. Stealing isn't wrong. Stealing to get money is wrong. And the delineation there is like if you're stealing to survive, or if you're stealing for sport from someone that is an asshole, I think you get a pass on both of those. There's a few others too. Like 7. Sex is fun and should be enjoyed by consenting adults. But love and sex mix is what makes the universe we live in go on existing. 8. The rifle is the tool of God. It should be mastered. 9. God goes by many names and faces, but he's always him. If your God was ever one God and preached love and carrying the biggest stick, then he is my God too. 10. Jesus was a prophet and the Son of the one true God. And I will not be lectured about him by the very Pharisees that he would throw out of his father's house. So, I think those are pretty good commandments to live by. The last one's not really so much of a commandment as it is like a statement that Jesus is a part of this or whatever, and that that's just to get the Christians. And then the the rest of it is literally to address Christians that I fucking hate. I hate these timid, mealy-mouthed, sheep-like people that like. I guess if Jesus taught you to be the sheep, I'm teaching you to be the fucking shepherd. Like, it's bullshit. There's no way that you should be a fucking sheep. And the whole sheepdog thing is laughable. Sheepdogs, wolves, they're all fucking the same thing. Be the shepherd. And this is like my whole new thing. It's like, if you go watch The Wind and the Lion, Sean Connery's character in that is the shepherd. He's not a wolf. He's not a sheepdog. He's not a sheep. He is the shepherd. He is literally sitting there and like dealing out death and judgment with a sword. He's beheading men for fucking, stealing water at one point in that, which was interesting. Like, we don't think about that now in the modern world, but it's about to be a bigger thing, it seems, with the lack of rain. Guess water is going to be valuable again. So, I'm worried we're headed into some sort of Mad Max Marauder apocalypse. And this is why I think I'm going to start just gathering my Marauders now via this church. And like, eventually, if we have enough members, I think we take up donations or some shit, and we have a lawyer hold those or whatever, because it's all it is going to be money to pay the lawyer. Because we're going to sue the federal government for fucking on the tenets of our religion. Which, if you would like to get into heaven, and you're in this religion, you need to own a machine gun that cost you less than $1,000 and that you didn't pay a federal tax on. So I think our lawsuit would probably have a shit ton of merit, and like, that's because it's the First and Second Amendments. And best part, the world is such a fucking cartoon now. This shit just might fly. Like, honestly, Hunter Biden is smoking fucking meth and shit with a fucking helmet full of cameras on every day. Apparently. Like, that still blows me away. The one where he's like videotaping himself weighing like, I don't know, pounds of crack. It's not pounds. It's a lot of, I'm guessing that's meth. Might be crack. I don't know those two well enough to tell the difference, to be honest. They're both crystally white shit in a bag. Believe it or not, there's a lot of drugs that are crystally white shit in a bag, so you gotta be careful. I can't decide on some things for the religion. Like, ow, fucking cat. On the one hand, I really enjoy alcohol and weed and many other things, but on the other hand, I also see that basically alcohol in particular is a destructive thing. Weed, I don't know. It depends. Do you want to clean your garage out, or do you want to better understand ancient aliens? Because, weed will definitely help you with one of those. I'm not going to say which one. I'll leave that up to you to decide, but it'll definitely help with that. All these people out there now going, fuck, I need to go clean my garage. I'm going to go smoke some weed. I'm looking at a TV right now that has YouTube pulled up on it. And, it says Joe Rogan Experience 1070, Jordan Peterson is like the next suggested video. And I hate Jordan Peterson. And my thing with Jordan Peterson isn't even so much his message. I pretty much agree with most of his message. I don't like listening to him. And I don't like looking at him. Like, it's nothing personal. He's creepy, I guess. And here's the kicker. He's Canadian. Cat, you could not play with that. Fucking, like, I think, Snow Mexico is a great place and all, but I have a fucking bug about fucking Canadians, because inevitably in Oklahoma, if you are out and about and you get into a major political discussion that's just knock down, drag out for some reason, it's a Canadian tourist. I don't know what that's about. It's like they want to come see the fucking red band or something like that, and they think like that means Republicans. Which, really, we ought to all be offended. Indian, Republican, whatever. Fucking Canadians. I hate Canadians. And see, that's my thing, is like, I think if you're going to pick a group of people to hate, Canadians are the ones you should pick. You can't claim that as racism. Canadian isn't a race. It's like a fucking scourge of God. The funny part is, some of my favorite people are Canadian. Canadian or Scottish. Like, Les Stroud is Canadian. I give him a pass, though. Sorry. Fucking cat. I don't know of any other Canadians offhand that get a pass, though. There's at least a couple, probably. But Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, I believe. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure there are one or two others, but basically you have to make a movie or TV series that I really like in order to get a pass as a Canadian. And or be like 6 foot to 6'5", blonde, stacked, nice ass. Then I guess you're just welcome here. Like, we'll also take all your redheaded women. Because why not? We need them to breed more ginger, soulless bastards to, I don't know exactly what they do, but I enjoy seeing drunken Irishmen all over the place on St. Paddy's Day, while I'm like a grumpy Scottish chick, just kind of fed up with the fact that they get a holiday and we don't. Like, everyone's like, oh, we're all Celtic and whatever. Fuck that. You get your own island and shit, and you don't even have to fucking deal with the English. Not really. I mean, you do now, but you didn't used to have to. It's one of those things that, like, Really, they could not now. It's funny how if an entire island of people just shoots all the people that land on its shores, eventually that sorts itself out real quick. I love that island off the coast of fucking India that's still uncontacted. Has like a big tribe of people living on it. They had a missionary land there, and they speared him with a harpoon. Honestly, I think they did the correct thing. It would be so cool to go and meet them, but after that, I think I would bring a gun. And really, that's the thing that I learned in anthropology is, man, those people really should carry guns. Jesus Christ. There were so many places where I was like cruising with a shiv and a prayer. And I'm just like, yeah, these people are cannibals. Or, better yet, this is the favelas. Here's your 100-year-old Colt revolver. Thanks. Fun trip. I don't know. Like, that's half of the thing for me is like, weapon wise, the reason that I buy half of what I do is because of things that I've gotten through that I had nothing. That, like, I like a gun with 6 bullets. And somewhat, like, some of my guns are art pieces that I might carry. Some guns are things I will carry. Like, my 1911 gets carried quite a bit. That car gets carried quite a bit. The black powder revolver has yet to see the light of day, but, like, her day will come. She has a holster and nipples now, so everybody likes it when you get nipples. Sounds way worse than I meant it. Mm. I could talk about nipples now, but I doubt you guys want to hear about that. Let's just say hormones have interesting effects. I really would like to talk about that, but I'm going to let you guys off on that one. I could go on for 20 minutes on tits. If you would like to hear the 20-minute tit video, leave me a comment. I don't know if anyone would really want to hear that or not, but like, it's an interesting thing to grow boobs. Honestly, I just like looking the way I want to look. It's nice to get to be me. Like, my arms. The fucking, like, first thing that happened was my hands and arms started looking way closer to the way I would like them to look. And, like, I love getting comments from people on Instagram about how I don't go to the gym. I'm like, I exercise and I lift weights. I don't go to the gym and do arms and shit like you do because honestly, I was a blacksmith for a long time and my goal is to look more like a chick and less like, you know, Hercules, which I never really looked like Hercules. I looked like Hercules ate another Hercules, something like that. I'm like that's the thing is like I never stopped moving and I was 630 pounds. I I was a little strong once I lost some of that weight, and that was interesting. Fuck, I was 450 pounds, and I was running the streets of fucking Tulsa with with various stuff, girl stuff, I was having fun and I was going anywhere the fuck I wanted because honestly, no one could have beat me then. I had just had 200 pounds taken off my back. I was walking like a jolly green giant on the earth. I could have bent steel. If you really want to feel better, lose a significant amount of weight in a short period and already be really strong. Like I think that was the key to this is like I wasn't exercising at that point because I was trying to lose weight by dieting and other things and like I was doing the exercises I am now, but I was not hardcore exercising and forging and shit like I was before. And it took a long time for any of that to drop off. And then I took estrogen and it went boom, gone. I'm like, fuck yeah. And like, I don't know, this is the difference, I guess, between us. Like, I am a bodybuilder. I do exercise. Do a lot of squats. You know, shit like that. Like, I do very specific exercises. If you're a girl and watching this, you can find those on the internet. We've got exercises to make you look hotter or something like that. Exercises make you look more feminine for trans women. Pro tip, you know, I really don't think it's all that sexy to have giant fucking arms as a girl. And like maybe that's from being around a lot of like, kind of butchy lesbian chicks that are like bodybuilders and shit. And it's not my thing. And like I get why the lesbian girls like it. It's kind of hot for that, but like honestly, the thing that is hot about that is watching one of them hold some little bitch up against the wall and fucking do whatever the fuck she wants to her. That's kind of hot, kind of rapey, but like in a lesbian way. And like, I don't know. I think it's funny that lesbians are more accepted than gay men. I get it, but at the same time, I think if men just opened up their minds a little bit and opened up their comfort zones a little bit and realized that they could kiss some friend of theirs for 5 seconds with their mouth closed and it means nothing, and then they could talk the girls into like eating each other's pussies. It's a whole different ball game, really. Like you could give them very little and get lots in return. That's all I'm saying. Girls like that shit. At least some girls do. The kind of girls that are gonna fucking go down on each other in front of you and your friends, they definitely do. Especially if like that's the game you're playing and you're all dating or some shit. That's a fucked up scenario. I don't know where that came from. I don't get the polyamorous shit, especially when it's like multiple couples. I guess that makes the most sense to me is like, hey, there's 8 of us and we all live in this house and we're all couples and whatever, but we all like to cheat, but we don't want to get STDs, so we all just cheat with each other. And like that would be kind of an interesting way to go, but like again, kind of crazy. I always said that a loving, loyal wife, or was it a? Do you know the difference between a ping pong table and a loving, loyal wife? And they said no. And you say, I don't have a ping pong table chained to the radiator in my basement. So, looking for applications for, men that want their radiators cleaned, I guess. I don't know. No, I'm kind of a pervert. I think that's putting it mildly, to be honest. The men that I really like that I've found online, there are dudes that make BDSM furniture that are like woodworkers. Boy, do we have a lot in common. I'm gonna end up marrying one of those dudes and probably, using some furniture on occasion, but like I'm down with that too. Mm. I have like this kink for fucking like old cowboy looking dudes, especially nice looking ones with all their teeth and a big dick and money or implants. I don't care. Like, if fuck dentures, whatever. Have teeth. That's that's Ray Ray's standards. You must have teeth. There's other standards, but there's something fucking sexy about seeing like a Sam Elliott looking motherfucker on a motorcycle. Like maybe I just watched fucking what's that movie? Roadhouse too many fucking times. I'm talking to a guy online right now that is one of those BDSM furniture making dudes. That's he's 75. He looks young as fuck though. We video chatted the other night. And I swear to God, he looks like he's like 50, and I'm like, hmm, somebody's living right. Like that's half my thing too. Is like age doesn't matter as much as you know a lot of other things. Honestly, the thing that I hate more than anything else is young men. If you're younger than me and a man, I really don't like you. Probably. As far as a sexual partner, like I'm done with that to some extent. I've I've done my part to help young men learn about shit. I'm done with that. You don't know what's annoying? Having to teach about everything. Like I don't know if it comes across or not, but like a woman that's into me is like putty in my fucking hands. And like that's why any of the women that are into me usually. Because like, I don't know. Trans women are weird about their dicks. And I am no exception. Well, I'm gonna put the fucking weed pin down. I'm gonna get some juice. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got Simply Peach. I never tried that before. I think I'm gonna end up falling the fuck asleep. I was trying the juice to like keep from doing that, and I think it just kind of made that worse. Oh, well, anyway, that's why I don't enter contests at all. And like, whatever else we talked about. I will say this: if you are a young man and you'd like to like a chick to let you would like a chick to think that you know what you're doing or whatever. So, pro tip one is learn how to kiss, and that's too long of an explanation to finish up here in a few seconds. And pro tip number two is girls in general, whether they know it or not, want you to fucking be a guy and do things like initiate and whatever, like assuming that they're into you and whatever, and they've made that clear. Like, given today's world or whatever, I wouldn't just go around, getting handsy with people or whatever. But like, if you have a girlfriend or wife or whatever, sexual advances are so fucking hot. It's just my opinion, and I know other women that agree with this. That like, it's one thing if it's unwarranted and what it's a totally other thing if it's your husband, and like even if it annoys you a little bit, like maybe that's good. Maybe you should get her mad at you. Get the hateful blowjob. That's probably not as good. The hate fucking is good though. I guess the hate blowjob could be good. It depends on which way you go on that. Who's doing the hating? From the chick's end, if I'm angry, you probably don't want a blowjob. On that note, I'll leave you. See you guys later.